Lakers in 5.
Dr. Umar, man, coming. Shannon wasn't having no game, but yeah, like I said, Shannon and that motherfucking, I don't know, man. Shannon might be still on them, that needle or something. Shannon don't make no sense to look like that type of shape at 56.
Yeah, he's in great shape.
Can't walk for shit. Shannon Sharp, Dr. Umar. Let me see if it come up real quick before we get going here, because that shit.
Okay, Lakers on a run. Just cut it to 6.
Yeah, Lakers gonna come back.
They better come back. They go.
Dr. Umar says he believes someone is secretly trying to destroy Shannon Sharp and calls Shannon Sharp's ex-girlfriend booty flat and ashy and looks like buttermilk biscuits. That's what I'm saying. Like, like Shannon, like, I mean, Umar just be talking shit.
Hey,
maybe he just be talking, but he be talking
like
facts.
They say Shannon like the little ladies. That's what they say.
Me and Steve was talking. Steve said Shannon like the tiny heinies.
Tiny heinies. That's
the
funny.
tiny heinies. He do, man. This is. I mean, that's his look, though. Some super skinny, young,
fit.
You know what I mean? But it's weird though, because it's just like, I don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why? Like you know what I mean? You're a bigger guy, right? And you want these like small, petite, super petite girl. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat. You know what I mean? Whatever floats your boat. But I'll tell you this, whatever floats your boat, man. I don't know how long. They'll probably last still. But if you got an alternate, if you want to listen to some fun, some hot takes, come on here and listen on Gambling Nights starting right now. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Gambling Nights. I'm the host. I'm the CEO. They call me Moss Money. Of course, I got my guy with me for the late night talk. Be humble. What's up, bro?
You know what I was thinking?
What's that there?
As I'm watching LeBron James get this and one at what he's like 45? That boy old as hell, right?
Oh yeah, Bron.
You know what, man? We gotta salute Bron for his long legacy, not only on the court. Let's have a look. I know because we're going to dig in some personal stuff going into this show tonight.
We will.
Can we tip our caps off to LeBron James and how he's able to handle all his side personal without being exposed. I mean, them NDAs got to be fire. Okay, them things must be locked and keyed. 20 plus years in the spotlight, being a man. Man, whoever his team is, brother, let's clap it up.
Yeah. No, you know what? He did almost get caught once. I was years ago. I remember we were laughing about it because we saw it. He almost got caught once. He was somewhere and he was dancing somewhere, and some chick just pulled up on him, and he just went like this, and she went to go talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
Right. And then we were just like, oh, that's the setup.
He called Olivia.
Come to me. Yeah, you go to somebody else. You know what I mean? That's the setup. But yeah, I mean, like you said, 20 plus years of keeping things quiet. So good for him. Good for Brown.
Good for him in Savannah.
Yeah. But you never know with these higher ups what they be doing behind closed doors now. You know what I mean? They might be getting it in, and old girl might be right with him. You know what I mean?
Him and Jeannie Buss might be getting it in.
Yeah, right. Like who knows? Who knows what in LA?
No, let me stop. I'm not gonna slander his name. That's a good trustworthy man right there. We ain't even gonna act like he ain't doing. Man, he's a good father, a good husband, faithful man.
Yes, black men don't cheat.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Black men
words of Charlemagne the God.
All right, so we got tons of stories to talk about today. tons of things to get into. So thank you guys for all jumping in. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you hit the merch down at moneypotbetting.com. I think we're selling out of some stuff. So, that's always a good thing. So keep it coming. Support. I appreciate the support for for us and the show and the whole community. All right. First thing we're going to get into, I got a couple things here. I got a surprise story here for you too. Let me actually, you know what? I didn't download the one story. So let's switch it up real quick. And let's go. I don't want to start off too sad, but I mean, we got to. The homie Jordan Travis. Let me get a better view here. Oops. My bad. Jordan Travis, unfortunately, has to retire without even playing a snap on the field. If you guys know, was that 2 years ago?
A year ago. Well, yeah, last football season.
Was it last football season?
It wasn't this. Yeah, so a year. Yeah, 2 seasons ago. Yes.
Yeah, 2 seasons ago. Had a horrific leg injury. Had a fracture, fibula or tibula, and an ankle, I believe. Still got drafted though to the Jets, and the rehab just did not go as he expected. And he pretty much kind of came out and said that, due to the doctors and the medical condition of his leg, he will have to retire from the game of football. They took a chance on him. He was, I think, a 5th-round pick, even hurt. Same as Shador, highly enough. It's just a kind of a shame because it's just like, it says breaking news, but, it's like the Jets just can't get a break at this quarterback position. Has been a carousel for many, damn near a decade. I'm trying to think, when was the last good Jets quarterback that actually helped them?
Mark Sanchez.
Is it Sanchez?
Mm-hmm.
The 1 year? Okay.
And then with Chad Pennington.
Sanchez has been retired for a couple of years. How long ago was that? That was his rookie year, though.
That was a long time ago.
But what do you think about, kind of this story? And it was against what, North Alabama, I think it was, that he got hurt. Like it wasn't even
game before the playoff, the final game for the playoff.
Into the playoffs, right? That was the year that they got undefeated, but
got hosed. Yeah.
Powers the B said, nah, y'all jokers ain't no good, so we not gonna, which is bullshit. They should have got in.
Yeah, man, I feel bad for the kid. I know, it's a shame when this one thing about football, man. It's a dangerous sport. You never know if your car's gonna be pulled, or it could be a season-ending injury, and for him, it's ultimately a career-ending injury. You don't get them a lot, but it does happen, and unfortunately for Jordan Travis, a young kid, I'm sure who had aspirations to be a professional athlete, to be a professional football player, was a game away, and that's the sad part about it. He literally was a game away. Had a lot of talent ahead of him, and this injury must have been so bad, and he couldn't recover. Where the medical team is telling him after a full year of rehab that this don't look good, and I know it's a tough pill for him to swallow. Obviously it just did draft him, so maybe he'll get that money and they'll give him some insurance money. But his dream is now flushed down the toilet without even stepping on the field of NFL field to actually play a snap. So I feel bad for him. I think he's a good kid. I'm sure his future.
Did he leave early? Great. He left early, right?
What to come out?
Yeah.
No, I think he was like almost one of those COVID kids. So he was there for a little bit.
Okay. Because I was about to say when we think about some of these kids and how much money that they do get, and he was, I mean, I'm pretty sure he had some money, but this is before NIL was really where it is now. But when you think about it, I mean, what is he? 23, 24 years old?
Yeah, around there.
Now you got to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, first thing I figure out is that, and realizing that his dream is crushed out of his control, and that's just a tough one. So, like I said, prayers up to him, and hopefully mentally he's in a good space. And if he's not in a good space, hopefully he has a great team around him that can help him through these tough times. And what the fuck?
You see, Don?
Hey, you.
Yeah, boy. We've been running numbers up.
I didn't know if I need to call the corner.
Yeah,
out there
we talked about that. Yeah, we had go to where's Don been? You know what I mean? Got them Pistons
Man,
up there.
now you got the Pistons up.
You got them Pistons up there.
Hey, they look they dogs, they for sure.
Yeah.
But real quick, just finished up on Jordan Travis, man. I wish him the best. Like I said, mentally, I hope he's together. I hope we got a good support team around him that can kind of get him through this time. Listen, you got a bright career ahead of you. It may not be in football. Maybe it might be in management. Maybe it might be a scout. Maybe it might be in some type of uh, football operations or coaching. I'm sure you'll have opportunity there because I'm sure they can use your ability as one of those. So we'll look forward. I look forward to reading up on him maybe a year or two from now.
Yeah, I think it was a good call, right? Work on yourself, work on, what I don't want to say what you have left because he has so much left. He's so young.
Yeah.
That it the sky could be the limit and with his connections and kind of what he decides to do. I just think from a mental aspect, now that you take the dream away, does he have the mental capacity to kind of flip that switch and just okay, like what's next? Like what can I tackle? What can I challenge? Or is he gonna, get kind of caught up? Which is very understandable to get caught up because not only was it your dream to make the NFL, but you actually got drafted, and it's just, unfortunately your body's not responding the way that should. Did Alex Smith come back?
Alex Smith did come back, yes.
He did come back. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just unfortunate that his genetics is not on his side, where he's going to obviously be in a safe position to play. So unfortunate, but like Don said, prayers up for Jordan Travis as he's retired young, and this happens, right? We've seen this before. We've seen worse where people come back from worse. Like I said, Alex Smith, even what's the old boy name from Buffalo?
You're talking about H, right? Last name's H.
Damn, we are terrible, yo.
I know what you're talking about. It's coming to me. I did want to say this. This is a tweet. This is the type of person that Jordan is. This is the kind of gear why we feel this way. I mean, obviously, I don't think any of us are Florida State fans, but we're sports fans. So I just want to read this tweet from when he got injured. Following a serious leg injury in November 2023, Florida State quarterback Jordan Travis tweeted a heartfelt message on December 3rd, 2023, expressing his heartbreak and disbelief at the season's outcome. He wished his injury had occurred earlier, allowing the team to show their true potential and to be showcased. Travis also apologized to the fans and dedicated the season to the team, referring to the team as much more than a quarterback. Like that was his response. Like he said, "I wish the injury happened earlier, bro." Like he didn't say, "I wish the injury didn't happen." He didn't. Just tells you a little bit more about where he was. But unfortunately, today we get the word he announced his retirement from football due to ongoing complications from the leg injury. So it's unfortunate, man. Like I said, it seems like he's a good head on the shoulder. Hopefully he brings that over to maybe coaching or some type of position in football and kind of lead his testimony to these other kids, man. Never take things for granted. I know a lot of money's coming at these kids fast with NIL deals, at least some of the top players. And sometimes we out here laughing about it like this career can be on forever, but it can be just like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully his testimony can be shared.
Facts. So somebody else's career that should be over just like that, at least in my opinion, is this Joker.
What a segue.
Yo, man, because I don't really bang with this shit, man. I thought this shit was foul. This Joker from Atlanta.
I'd like to publicly apologize to Shedeur and the Sanders family for what occurred. Second of all, I want to publicly apologize to Mr. Blaine, Terry Fontenot, Raheem Morris, and the entire Falcons organization.
All right, so I just want to let me set it up because the video started talking. So for those who don't know, the defensive coordinator's son for the Atlanta Falcons called and did a prank GM call to Shedeur Sanders that the New Orleans Saints was going to take him in the draft. And it's probably, to me, one of the most foulest things I've ever seen done. Because I understand, I think you even said this, Humble, was that this happened to some other draft picks, I think, on that night,
too? Sure did. A few of them. I think even Abdul Carter said he got his prank call, too, which is odd. We went third.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But yeah.
Let me update this. But Shedeur is the one that's the poster for it because he fell so far. right? And now his face is everywhere. You don't hear, like, you heard about it, but you're not seeing actual video of him actually getting that type of call. Now, whether that's because Shedeur has all the cameras around him or not, but it's still, I just think it's one of the most foulest things I think I've ever seen in a draft. And I don't think an apology is enough. I don't think a fine's enough. I think he should be liable to lose his job because you let sensitive information get out. Like, at the end of the day, it's security, because you don't know what your son did with that number. Did your son give it to his other friends? You know what I mean? You know, are they texting this and that to Shedeur? We have no idea how far.
Well, it was a separate phone, so it's not his personal phone.
Okay.
It was just a draft phone.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Shedeur said it was a draft phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it. I do get what you. I mean, listen, I'm with you on that. I think it's tough to put it all on Coach Jeff. Obviously,
and my son's paying his fine too, by the way. Like, there ain't no way. There's no way this is gonna come out of my pocket.
Right. That's a hefty fine coming out of a defensive coordinator's pocket. You know, these guys aren't making multi-million dollars like that.
That is true. I mean, his son was like in his 20s.
21 years old.
Is Jeff coming in and just stealing him?
Fuck yeah. 100,000? Bro, I'm closing that door.
He's taking one, right? At least.
Hell yeah. And you almost, like you said, potentially can cost me my job, potentially be blackballed in the league where nobody else want to pick me up because of this situation because they want to be far away.
Facts. And
I know we keep having this kid label. That's a grown-ass man that was being immature and wanted to be funny, and it was unfortunate. Now, for Coach Jeff, I don't think he should be fired. I think the 100,000 is a little steep, and I think it's earned. It's well earned and worth it.
It's not even him. Atlanta got fined too. I think
Atlanta got fined. Yeah, so your organization gets fined. Yeah, so it's a tough situation. Obviously, Shedeur was going through one of the worst times, I'm sure, in his life, although he was going through it with a smile on his face. We all know as an athlete,
for sure,
you're a competitor, and you're going through your mind trying to figure out what happened, where I went wrong. And I know for sure Deion Sanders was killing himself inside as he's seeing what was happening. You can kind of see his tone throughout some of these videos. It was very somber. So for another person to kind of harp in on that and to make fun of somebody going through probably their worst time that they've been through, and you want to make jokes of it, you've earned that fine. It's unfortunate. I think they should have put a picture up here. I think he should be embarrassed himself. I haven't seen a picture of Jeff's son yet. So why are we protecting this grown man? That's how I am. If you want to embarrass somebody else, they should also be getting embarrassed.
Yeah, I agree. I
mean, if it was me, if I'm Jeff, a good dad would have told his son to get up here on this podium and apologize. Yeah. I'm not saying he's not a good dad. If it was me, not only would I have brought up here, I'd have brought my son up here.
He's probably protecting his son too, right? Because if his picture and stuff gets out,
man, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I feel you. Let's finish listening to the video. What else you got to say?
Sorry. My actions of not protecting confidential data were inexcusable. My son's actions were absolutely inexcusable. And for that, we are both deeply sorry. The NFL has taken action, and I fully respect the punishment. We take full responsibility, my son and myself, and we will not be appealing the fine in any way. Going forward, I promise my son and I will work hard to demonstrate we are better than this. Again, I'm deeply sorry for our actions.
So another thing too, man, like if I just guys, like I just feel like this wouldn't happen if he was white. I just don't feel like I mean, like I just don't. I think he was targeted specifically because of who he is. I'm not sure. I don't know.
You mean Shedeur?
Yeah, because I've never seen this before. Like we've never seen this in the draft. This is the first time I've ever heard like Don has pranked the new thing during the draft. Like I never heard about cats getting prank call. They get like fake calls from like fake GMs. Like I've never heard it before. And we've been watching the draft for 2 decades.
But also, these kids are exposing themselves. They're exposed. It's. I'm not obviously. I'm not. I'm just want to look. I'm just going to take a little view from the other side of it. Um, we've never seen kids this famous before in sports. Before they get to the league, like you'll have one or two guys, three guys at max. But now these kids are like you said, they're on social media. They're approachable. They kind of, they have their own followers, and everything is technology. Is not like you're locking things up anymore. It is. Jeff is responsible for that. Anytime you get top information in your computer, that's could be a violation. He should be held responsible for that, and he is. Man, that's a steep fine. 100K is a lot. Like, god damn.
Yeah, I think the next thing they're talking about is salary, and they're kind of people are trying to figure out. I wonder if the organization. Do you think the organization make him docking that out of his pay? Like he's going to eat the whole damn near. What, 450?
Somehow it's going to get paid. I don't know how it's going to get paid, but it's going to get paid. I don't know. If NFL want their money, so
yeah,
maybe they'll maybe Atlanta will pay the full fine, and then here's other pay Atlanta back. I don't know. I mean, I think he probably makes a couple million a year. He probably make like maybe
I was 800,000.
800,000.
Yeah, it was 800,000 that I saw.
Hey yo, me and my son, dog.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good conversation.
Yeah.
I'm with my if I got to take this bullet, my son is but I get the father part of it, though. I get the protection part of it. Like you're the shield, so you're going to take all the shots. You protect your son. I understand.
Listen, I grew up. My mama said she would my ass in front of the classroom if I was to do something crazy again. That was me.
Yeah.
So is that protecting me? Yeah, it's showing
Hold on,
me
did
that.
you get your ass whipped in front of the class?
I didn't try to test it again. You hear me? That wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want to get my butt whooped in front of my classmates.
Right.
So I didn't go down that road again.
I think every single black mother said that to their black son.
Probably, and I wasn't willing to figure out if she was bluffing or not.
Yeah, we weren't wanting to test those resolves.
I didn't want that. So that's where I grew up. So I think it makes him stronger if he was make him be more responsible and put his ass up there. And you're going to apologize to the national media, and you're going to apologize to Shador and the family, and then we're going to move from here.
Yeah,
that's what I would do. Protect him from what? He did it.
But
if anybody want to find who he is, they find who he is.
Times is different now with social media and stuff like that. No, motherfuckers will find out who he is for sure.
Right. So it don't make it different.
Right now, look, right now, Cleveland is Believeland and Shador Sanders, and now Shador has the #1 selling jersey right now out of the whole rookie class. And you just put it in the
I said that was going to happen.
Huh?
I said that was going to happen.
Yeah, and you put it in the chat. They got the after parties with Shador face on it. Like they about to turn. Cleveland is about to turn up. Cleveland feels that. I bet you Cleveland feels that Shador Sanders can be what Deion was to Boulder.
I highly doubt that.
Because they ain't. I'm telling you right now. I've been to Cleveland and it ain't shit in Cleveland.
You mean the city of Cleveland or the Cleveland football team?
No, Cleveland City.
Oh, Cleveland City. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, Cleveland.
The football team is probably like, oh my god.
Yeah,
they're about. I mean, hopefully he's just going to be able to. He'll play his worth, right? Hopefully, you can really kind of get out there and make it happen. But I know we're going to get on Shador in a minute. But
I was about to say, did you want to? We can move right with Shador if you want.
Sure.
Because I know I know you said you had some stuff with Shador. You had some other stuff. What you got? What do you got about Shador?
I mean, obviously everybody has their opinion about what happened with Shador dropping to the 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
Did he deserve that? Is he a 5th round draft pick? No. I think we all can agree that it was a little bit extreme, but I think circumstances happen once he fell out the 2nd round. And then once he fell out the 2nd round, it gets a little bit tricky when you're dealing with a backup quarterback. And when you have a backup quarterback that's going to be more popular than probably everybody on that team coming in with the media. And when I say circus doesn't always have to be a negative tone. Circus means a distraction, right? It can be positive, it can be negative too. But sometimes Tim Tebow was a distraction. You know what I'm saying? Although he was a positive person. But having the backup or the third string quarterback with cameras in his booth and all this information about what's happening, and then like you said, already he's the number one selling jersey out of the draft. So what does that mean? What does that mean for the organization of Cleveland Browns? Now I'm forced, regardless of how he does in the offseason, regardless of what he's going to do in spring ball, I'm eventually at some point going to be forced to have to put this kid in if he's ready or not ready, because they're going to be calling for him from the loudest of fans in the dog pound, because now they feel like this kid was treated unfairly and blah 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 blah, and that's why nobody wanted to touch him.
I'm about to say he was treated unfairly. I mean, you say blah blah blah, but it was true.
I don't know if it's true.
Maybe he didn't drop because of his talent.
So what did he drop for? There it is. Yeah, it was 2.5 months of interviews, character reviews, play reviews. It was many.
In my opinion, I think he dropped because the teams that were going to draft him were the teams that had coaches on short leases, and I feel that they were scared of the Dion effect. That's my personal opinion. The New Orleans, the New Yorks, who were in that list. I wouldn't say the Raiders, and I wouldn't say Cleveland, because
you had the Raiders. I don't think New York at all. New York brought Shador on Thursday.
Yeah, well, I think if Brian, I know what he's saying, Brian Debo. Not Debo.
Yeah, Brian Debo.
Debo, yeah. If he had another season like they just had, I don't think he's gonna make it.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna make it regardless. So it doesn't matter whether if you think Shador is a number one or a first round pick, you pick Shador. So they obviously didn't think he was a first round pick, and they obviously didn't think he was their pick for them for some reason. It don't got nothing to do about a short lease. If I think that he's that guy, he's going to help my football team win games. He was out there in New York. He wore the Giants cleats. Him and what's the bull name? Neighbors was out here passing the ball up, having good conversation. What happened was the approach that the Deion Sanders, Shador Sanders did during this offseason or this draft process. Now, I think that turned people the wrong way, and they were like, listen, I don't want to deal with this. And I'll keep saying this part too. Tom Brady is his mentor. Tom Brady is affiliated with the Oakland Raiders. Oakland Raiders just brought in Geno Smith. I don't give a shit. Geno Smith ain't moving the needle.
Las Vegas Raiders.
I said Oakland. Sorry, Las Vegas Raiders. If his mentor, if anything, you could probably say that the Tom Brady effect might have really probably changed the whole game for other people to say shit,
I don't put too much stock in that.
If Tom ain't taking him, what you mean, Moss? We had conversations all over the season about him going to the Raiders. We talked about
I predicted him that he was going to the Raiders,
but
that was before Geno got there, and then Geno got an extension. I don't like you. If you draft Shador in the first round with your first pick.
Time out. It don't got to be the first one. We didn't get the first pick. Let's go. Let's talk about the 6 other picks they had before the 5th round.
But I'm saying if the Raiders were going to take him, they were going to take him before maybe they thought New Orleans was going to take him. They were going to take him in the first round,
and they didn't.
And they didn't. But what I'm saying is, if the Raiders were going to take him, how do you take a quarterback in the first round and a top 10 pick that high when you just signed a quarterback for the next 2 to 3 years and have that kid sit? That's throwing away money.
So you don't take him in the first round. But when he drops to you in the second round, you skip over him. When you had 3 picks in the third round and you skip over him 3 times, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So that's telling me. Yeah, that's telling me.
And that's why I don't put too much stock in the Tom thing, because it seems like Tom didn't have that much pull.
Oh my! Why is it? You hear yourself?
Why?
Now Tom don't have that much pull. Why?
We understand that he said that Tom Brady's his mentor, but we don't know. Is Tom hanging out with Shador mentor, or is he just an ear that he can pick? We don't know what that relationship is. So that's why I said I don't know what it is. So I can't just think that it's a mentor how I think a mentor would be.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much pull Tom has. I just don't. I know he's a minority owner, but does he have that type of pull where he can say, I want Shador, but Davis is like, nah, I don't want him. Like, what are we going to do?
So if that's the case, just like you just said, why would I not want a quote unquote first round pick in the third round when I need a quarterback? It happened before. Matt Flynn it was with the Vegas or was it Packers? It was with the Vegas. It was with Oakland Raiders at the time. Wasn't Matt Flynn picked over? Wasn't somebody drafted and then Matt Flynn came in? He was the new quarterback and then they drafted. Who did they draft?
You talking about Raiders?
Was it the Raiders? Matt Flynn had a big season with the Raiders. Then he went to the Packers. Right? And then
no, never mind. I'm thinking about somebody else.
It was a Matt Flynn situation. It was like, they just paid all this money for Matt Flynn. And then somebody came in the draft and became the starting quarterback. And Matt Flynn was
I'm not sure. Might have to Google.
But either way, what I'm saying is that I think what happened within that process, it really turned a lot of people the wrong way. And then he got to a point in the draft where now you're talking about a backup quarterback, and then now you have teams like, I don't know if I want that social media, that media.
Exactly.
Blitz.
I think that's why he fell, because nobody wanted
wanted
the noise. Nobody wanted
Correct.
the noise.
And I wouldn't want the noise either.
Yeah, I don't know why Dallas didn't take him, Don.
Because they don't want the noise. I think Jerry Jones already spoke about it.
Yeah, and I like I said, I think it's the Deion thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's the Deion thing, and I think that maybe we misjudge of how much pull he has, or how arms his reach, because he ain't the one walking in those doors. It's Shador walking in those doors every single day. So, maybe we put too much stock that Deion could really manipulate this. And
he
I think
could. Well, of course, he got a podium.
Huh?
He has an outlet. He has a podium. Can you? I mean, that's what's going to happen. So, for instance, I'll give you a perfect example. And this is probably going to happen. He's in Cleveland. There's going to be a quarterback, controversy, a quarterback race going into who's going to be a starter. Shador is not getting the time he wants. Deion's at Colorado getting ready for his team. Hey, Deion, I just want to touch base with you about Shador Sanders and how he's doing in Cleveland. It looks like they have a quarterback race. What do you think about Shador? Is he going to ignore that?
I don't think he's going to talk about that.
Okay.
We shall
see. But he's going to be asked the question.
I agree. I think the question's going to come.
Correct.
For sure. But I think he's just going to be like, this ain't the Cleveland Browns. These colors are black and gold.
That. And the question is, do the organizations in the NFL think he's going to do that? Because Deion is very outspoken. He speaks his mind. He doesn't care. And that's, as an organization, you got to be wary of that. Do I want to deal with that?
I think they know that. I think they know those questions are coming. And I think Deion, I don't think that's going to be too bad. It'll be a distraction in the beginning, and it might get louder at times. It might get quieter times, but I don't think it's going to.
I'll give you another example. Shador was meeting, and they were at a party. I don't know what party it was. Roger Goodell was in the party. Shador came over and shook Roger Goodell's hand. They were just, laughing. Shador was trying to get his brother over here. He's like, I need you to put my brother on. He need to be with me, blah, 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 blah. He's talking about the one that does all the camera work. He's like, and Roger's like, I'm not really worried about him. I'm worried about your dad. That's what he said. I'm worried about your dad. That's on camera. And he said, well, what you worried about him for? And it cut off, or that's the click cuts off. So it is a thing in NFL. You could probably pull that or find that Roger Goodell Shador conversation up and kind of hear it for yourself. But this is what the circus is, and this hurt him. It hurt him.
I mean, the segues. It's like basketball. We're gonna get the NBA, but the alleys that you just be throwing, it's like D Wade and I'm just Bron, just like Because you just said it perfectly. The circus, and it hurt him. Well, the circus, and it hurt him. What a picture! What a picture to grab. It just feels almost cringy looking at it, because that is your starting running back for your two-time Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles, and Agent Orange. Don't even look like his face is real in this joint. His hands look all white.
He didn't have his tan. That's what it is.
Yeah, he looks.
He's probably really pale, huh?
Yeah, right. You see his hands?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
his
his
face
hands
looks like
look
that too. That's
crazy.
probably why he gets all that orange stuff on his face.
Yeah. So,
It's interesting.
well, he is old, right? I think
is
he
old.
beat Biden, right? Is he the oldest president?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, right. He beat
now.
Biden being the oldest president ever. So I put this up, and one, because I know you wanted to speak on
Actually, a
this.
nice picture. I ain't gonna hold you. It's a nice picture.
Yeah. And I'm just wondering, is this the right title for this one? You let me know, y'all, about this one, because there's a lot of controversy. Saquon has already said his piece. There's a lot of people still, rapping about it and how they feel. But let me know what you think about this one, and this is the right title for this one, bro. Is it more important to have respect for your people or respect for your morals? Because I think this is where we are with this, because we understand, at least I hope you understand, everything that's kind of going on from a political landscape, whether you agree with it or whether you're not agree with it. I'm not here to judge. There are some blatant things that are just blatant, I guess is the best word to say it. There's no sugarcoating it. There's some things that I think that you could possibly look on both sides. Maybe this one is, I'm not 100% sure of yet. I know where a lot of people are landing, and unfortunately, Saquon is getting, the Jigaboo, the Uncle Toms, those type of name stuff is starting to kind of come up for him. Even his ex-girlfriend, I think, or his girlfriend now, saying, well, I will never mess with a broke nigga or something like that, who's white, as well. I guess she's on tape or whatever.
She tweeted it out. I think it was tweeted.
Tweeted at, or whatever the situation is. So the picture is not looking good, kind of from him. And then when you look at him, you hear him talk and speak, you kind of get that feel, you know what I mean? Or like, I know what type of time you on. But he did also say that he went, for him was an opportunity to meet the president of the United States, to have a one-on-one conversation, to golf with the man, and probably have conversations that maybe might be once in a lifetime type deal with some people might consider the most powerful person on the planet right now. Where he said that he respects the office, and that's why he went. And then I guess tried to say that he went with Obama the week before with him and Hertz golfing as well. I don't know I don't know how that correlation works. I guess you're just trying to say, well, I did go with Obama too. So but
it was a terrible response.
In my head, Obama's not the president. So, you know what I mean? You just, I didn't get it. I didn't get it, that part.
It was a terrible response.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. What do you think here, man? Like, is it, a lot of people, obviously, if you guys don't know, a lot of Jeffrey Lurie, which I thought was admirable, didn't force anybody to go. He said it's a choice. And folks like Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, I'm not sure. Those are the big names that I know didn't go. I'm pretty sure there's more people who didn't go. Decided not to go.
We know who was there.
No, I didn't see. Honestly, I didn't see. I think I saw Lane Johnson. I know Lane was there.
Of course, Lane was like the face of the whole thing. It was
but
the old line, all the old linemen went for the most part.
Yeah. But the interesting thing about this, Jalen's already been there. Jalen's already met Trump when he won with Alabama. When they won with Alabama, so it's not like he hasn't been to the White House and he's already met Trump in that first term. So, but I don't know, man. Let me know your thoughts. There's a lot of layers. There's a lot to unpack. I don't want to get too deep in the weed. Let's try to keep it high level as best we can. But I guess, how does it make you feel? I guess the best way to a little bit of emotional response, I guess, would be the best way. As a personal, not so much telling people what they should feel, more or less sharing how you feel when you see this picture and kind of the things that are kind of happening around this.
I was disappointed. That would be my emotional. I was disappointed not because obviously the elephant in the room about who the president is and everything like that, but I was more disappointed in Saquon that he allowed himself to be used in this fashion. And I think we all knew, and I definitely know that the administration knew and the Eagles knew that Jalen Hurts, who's the face of the franchise, and right now looks like he's the face of the NFL as far as being the top 100 it was significant human beings on the planet.
Yeah, influential
Um,
people.
obviously has the look, and everybody loves Jalen. It might be different now after he did not show up, but they knew that he wasn't going to come, and I felt like Saquon took the bait here and was kind of pranced around with these photo ops and on the golf course and this little private trip on the helicopter and like who's ever done? I never seen no athlete come off the helicopter.
So let me ask you this: was Saquon there with the team, or he just did a solo joint?
It looked solo to me.
So when the team came, Saquon wasn't there.
No, they were in Jersey. The team was already in DC.
Okay.
They took the helicopter from Jersey to DC to meet with the rest of the team for
Okay.
So it was, from my understanding, it was just him and probably his own personal team. But he walked off the helicopter by himself. It was nobody with him on the helicopter, but besides him and Trump.
Yeah, I saw that video.
So it seems like he was solo by himself. I just was disappointed. I was more disappointed because I felt like his response was very weak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at this picture right now. You enjoyed yourself. You obviously, I don't know if he voted for Trump or if he backs Trump, but I would say that this interaction would say that you support this person. And I would like to just remember that. And I get upset with these NFL players, is that especially the black NFL players. It wasn't that long ago that he was calling people sons of bitches for taking a knee. I remember that clearly. I remember it was a man named Colin Kaepernick that took a knee for injustices that was happening to the black community. And I remember that there was a stance throughout America and even across the globe of people in solidarity taking a knee in respects to that. I also remember this man right here with the white hat on that says "Make America Great Again" completely flipped the narrative and made it about the military and disrespect of the military. And clearly remember on multiple occasions in front of the media during his rallies saying how the NFL is disrespectful. These sons of bitches need to get their ass up. Remember that. I remember him calling owners and trying to force owners to make sure that these black people or people that was kneeling get in line. I remember that clearly. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about emotion and I see this, it just kind of gets to me because it's like, how do you get to this point where without an apology, without Donald Trump saying anything, hey, listen, this wasn't right, I took this wrong approach. Like if Trump did that, or maybe had an apology toward how he handled that situation during that first term, okay, as an NFL player, maybe you can kind of I wouldn't be as emotional about it. But this is my issue when it comes down to NFL players. You know, when they were doing a little dance and stuff during the season, it was like, bro, it was a minute ago he was calling you a son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately boycotting Colin Kaepernick out the league. He was a part of that. So it's disappointing, and I'm happy for Jalen Hurts standing on his moral fiber and electing not to go and be seen and be in a situation that he chooses, which is his decision, to not support that. So that's my piece. Does it change how he does with the football team? I don't know. That's between the football team. I doubt it because athletes adjust. The most important attribute to an athlete is how they are able to adjust. I think they'll be okay, and they'll get back to business come September, August, September. But this was just a big moment that I thought was like, man.
Yeah, and you know, and it's funny because we talked about Hurts, and you talked about almost like that that Radio Raheem, right?
Mm.
What was it? what needs to be understood, what's understood don't need to be said.
Yeah, don't need to be explained.
So I got that part of it. I personally thought that it was an opportunity for him to elevate who he was that transcended football, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have spoke up in ways similar to like what Malcolm Jenkins did, right, in certain areas. And I actually have a clip of some of the things that Malcolm was doing back in those days with the injustices. I remember this one too. I found this one and I was like, oh shit, I remember this. But when you have those platforms like that, I understand you need to be strategic in how you use them. But when you have those platforms like this, and like you said, right now, the face of the NFL just being named a top 100 influential person on Times Magazine, has everything going from him from A to Z. Everything he touches is gold right now. Yeah, to me, you had an opportunity to express your morals, express, where you stand. Because sometimes I think even though we can move in silence and we can have just as big as impact or even bigger impact without saying the words, sometimes it just sounds good to hear it. You get what I'm saying? It just sounds good in the ear to hear what you really feel or how you really feel about certain things. And I just think that it was really a big opportunity for him to show that and be that type of leader that I think we need, because he's a younger leader. Like we still, like even the Dr. Umars, the Cory Bookers, even though I'm not a big Al Sharpton, but he walked with King. Like those guys are, I think, out of touch with, the younger generation. Jalen isn't, right? Jalen can remind the youth of what that exactly looks like and how to stand tall. Because I'm not sure, and Malcolm did a very beautiful job of explaining it, of what was happening, of how you move in silence and how that's a bigger impact without even just having to say a word. That's not necessarily translatable to the youth. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want it to be up for you either get it or you don't. You know what I mean? I would have rathered him explain it in a class way, on how I'm carrying myself. These are my morals. I'm sticking with this, and this is how I'm moving forward.
So I'm gonna challenge you with that.
Of course you would.
Yeah, I want you to think a little bit like on like I just want you to go a different thought on that outcome, right? He's the leader of a football team, and he has his teammates, or a quarter of his teammates, or maybe half of his teammates, that are going down there to support and be represented at the White House. For him to directly oppose what they're doing by expressing himself would be malpractice as a leader. And that's why I think you need strong people like Malcolm Jenkins, that understands it and can express that. That's what it's about. That's what coming together as a community is about. Knowing that you have an example out there, you don't want to expose him too much, where it weakens his strength, but he can still stand on himself and stand on his moral fiber without destroying the football team. So imagine if he goes on there and didn't say what he said as far as a scheduling conflict. And we all know what that scheduling conflict was. Is that I have 28 people down there that are my teammates that feel completely opposite what I feel. I'm not bashing them for doing that. I'm just going to stay quiet because there's not much I need to say. Because if I do say something, now we continue to bridge that gap, or not bridge. We continue to create that gap and opportunity for other people, media, people like us, to come in and say, "Oh shit, what does that mean about the rest of the guys that went down there?" And I think his approach was a great example of leadership. The week before, when he was at the Times Magazine's, ceremony, they asked him a question. He stayed quiet. He said, looked at, I guess, his PR person, turned around, and left. And she was like, oh, "Okay, I understand," and left it at that. I thought that was powerful. I thought that was very smart and strategic. And I know he's going to be asked a lot of questions moving
Oh, for
forward,
sure.
and I hope he continues to do this because the last person that did a silent protest was hijacked. The last person that did this, named Colin Kaepernick, silent protest when he took a knee, was
He wasn't
hijacked.
silent. I don't think he was silent.
It wasn't
He
silent.
explained. He explained why he was doing what he was doing.
Remember how long it took him to do that? It took him almost 3 weeks to come to a conversation when people kept asking him. They kept asking, "What's going on? What are you doing? What happened?" It took him almost 3 weeks for Colin Kaepernick to speak out. Then he finally spoke out. That was the process of that.
Yeah, I don't remember. I thought it was right after.
No,
he did it.
it was a silent protest for almost 3 weeks, and everybody was like, "Well, why isn't Colin Kaepernick talking? Why isn't he speaking?"
Yeah, I would have to go back and
Sure.
on that, but
Sure.
but yeah, no, I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. But this, like, I'll add. I won't do the whole clip because it's a long clip, but take a look at this and remember, the things that Malcolm Jenkins was doing at the time.
Malcolm, is it? Are you surprised? Are you surprised? There's, you guys are kind of embroiled in this controversy with the White House.
Lower that
and
phone.
Trump.
Yeah, please lower the phone.
Are you not going to say anything today, or just going to use these posters?
Could you hold it up again? We couldn't see it.
What aren't we listening to?
Talk about strategic, knowing how people are going to ask you questions.
Could you hold it higher, please?
Could you hold it higher so we could see it?
What does it have to do with not going to the White House yesterday?
You know what I mean? So, like, to me, like, that, I remember that, and that holds so much weight, because when he didn't go to the White House yesterday, and he explained it the day after.
Yeah, but that's a little different because they all didn't go. They didn't go. This is different because half the team went. You know what I'm saying? So he can have that expression if they're all in line, right? In 2018, the Philadelphia Eagles did not go to the White House. And remember, don't forget, Donald Trump was upset about it, so he revoked the invitation when there was complaints that they were going to go, or they weren't coming. So in 2018, they did not go to the White House.
I didn't know. I thought some of them went. I thought it was the same thing before.
They got the invitation revoked because they were having conversation that they weren't going to go. So in this case, the team was solid in this approach. In 2025, when they're going, like you said, there were teams going. Jory went, Coach Nick Sirianni went. There were a lot of management, and probably a quarter of the team was there. So, Jalen has to play the strategic and not continue to bridge a gap of saying what I feel like, and I'm against what they're doing. Or he can explain that's not true too. But at the same time, the best case was saying, hey, there's a scheduling conflict. I'm just not going to go there. If Jalen wanted to be there, he'd be there. We all know that. And I hope people understand that.
But again, I think Jalen was, Jalen also
has
already
time
there too,
to also
so.
express himself. He may express himself, during the next interview. He may express himself later. He's going to continue to get asked the question. And maybe when the team is together, and maybe after they're kind of getting ready to go, I'm sure it's going to be asked during the season, just for something to kind of throw a little wedge between what's happening with the Philadelphia Eagles organization. But he may have a moment where he can express himself and what his decision was. I'm sure it is. But knowing that young man surrounded by the strong Black women that are in this team, and his father that's in his team, and his mother that's in his team, I'm pretty sure he's okay. And I salute Malcolm for speaking
yeah,
up.
Yeah.
For doing that.
I'm sure he's okay too.
And think about that though too. Like, I know we gotta move on, but even think about knowing that this person's catapult trajectory is completely going up through the roof. He could have said, "Hey, I need to go to the White House to help my brand." That could have been Jalen. That's why I say when he's standing 10 toes, that's standing 10 toes to me. That's saying that regardless of what people are going to say about me not showing up, my morals are important than me expressing myself for my brand. It's better for my brand to have been there in the financial field. It's better for my brand to go and tote the line.
I think
breaking that.
I think his trajectory was going to go up anyway. If as long as he didn't say anything negative, whether he goes or didn't go, I think the arrow still is pointing up. I think if he went, I think it would have just signified that Jalen's going to be able to play ball with maybe people that that are indifferent than him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, versus, you know, them doing stuff that are only about what they're talking about. You know what I mean? That's what that says to me. Not that he's quote unquote support Trump's, but he's willing to come to the table and talk to people and be able to talk to people on the other side that definitely don't look at him as, you know, maybe even a person. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. But what it also is going, the trajectory that is going up is this viral conversation that people are still having, bro. And I don't understand what's the conversation. How many men does it take to beat up one gorilla?
100 ain't enough.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna show you what one man versus a gorilla look like. This is what one man versus one gorilla look like. Look at this big motherfucker walk through here. Look at this.
Yeah, come with me. Come with me.
Look at
Look at his face. He was shitting his pants.
Look. Yo, look at him. He like, yo, what the fuck? He just came and just gripped me up. And it was, man, if he would have running, it would have been a wrap. And I just don't understand what people is. It's just funny.
Listen, my friend chat, dog, we on day 3 still talking about this.
Still talking about it.
It's hilarious, bro. It's
hilarious. But
it's split.
You.
It's like some are like, yeah, they think we can do it. Others are like,
no, all 100 are going. Gone. Now the gorilla might die afterwards of exhaustion. He might have a broken finger or something. But I'm telling you right now, there's no way 100 men will be able to beat up that big 600-pound ape that just walked through. No,
strong
sir.
as an ox, can bench press almost 2,000 pounds.
Not
fast, can climb, jump.
Yeah,
like teeth, fangs. Like my whole thing with this whole thing is, what is your approach as a human being? What do you have? There's no weapon.
So how would you the quarterback? You got
hell no. I ain't a quarterback. The only thing I'm quarterbacking is trying to get out this fence that I'm in. I'm not worried about what I'm not. There's 99 of them. Ain't 100.
You got 100 bros with you, man.
No,
what's the plan?
It's 99. If I'm in that group, it's 99 because I'm not a part of that. I'm out.
What's the plan? Like, what's the strategy?
I'm gonna tell y'all tripping, and we need to let that one gorilla let him do what he gonna do.
Yeah,
get out of his way.
Funny as shit,
because first off, the muscle mass, the thickness of his skin, you're
not gonna be able to hurt him.
You're not gonna be able to hurt him.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You're not gonna be able to hurt him as much as 100 men punch him. You're not gonna be able to hurt him. And one grip from him is gonna break everything in your body.
Exactly. One punch, one smash.
The gorillas have the strength, and we've seen this before from the insane video. I think that was with the chimp that ripped the chimp that ripped the lady's face off. Yeah, and they killed the chimp. And when the old lady was saying, "Oh my God, he ripped their face off." Imagine that motherfucker. He will rip you he will rip your arms out.
Yep,
literally.
And then beat you on the head with it.
But people are coming up with strategies. So can we get a gambling night strategy? We running up here on time.
I got no strategy.
100-man strategy to take down the gorilla.
I think the only way you can do it is in waves of 25 and pray.
So
and hopefully by the
4 shots.
Hopefully by the 75th wave that the gorilla is tired enough that he retreats.
Oh man!
And then you can, I don't know, do something.
And this is 100 not armed. We don't got no weapon. It's just men.
Weapons. No weapons.
I mean, at least I think 25 of them on him could at least hold him down, right?
No.
While somebody just whack.
Listen, I've seen a pit bull break a crowd of a bunch of people just by being outside loose. Now we talking about men out here trying to take down a gorilla. I've seen a pit bull loose on a street and had grown men running down the street
Yeah.
because a pit bull was loose. Not that the pit bull was running after him. It just was a loose pit bull chilling, and I've seen grown men run away.
That's funny. Yeah.
Now we can take on a gorilla.
I just want to see. Let's go back, yo. Look at this shit, yo. Like, look at the size difference, bro. Like, look at that animal.
What you gonna do with that?
Yeah,
Jump on his back?
right. Look
What
at
are you
his
gonna do?
back.
You gonna put him in a headlock? He ain't got no neck. Like, what are you gonna do?
Oh my god, yo! And just
You're
look,
not-
just look how
Hey,
easy.
you might break your
look
wrist.
how
Just try to
easy.
hit him.
He just gripped him up. Oh man, that's funny, bro. That is funny, but it is funny to see how many people are.
It's a crazy. I don't know how this even happened or who started this, but it's
I think it was
crazy
like
how
Mr.
it's
Beast.
gone.
I think it was Mr. Beast that put something on, and then motherfuckers.
And maybe
like,
he might try to do that. I'm sure Mr. Beast gonna
nah,
work on a
he
game.
ain't gonna find 100 men to be able to run with a fucking.
If you put $1 million at the end of that, there's gonna be 100 people trying to figure it
Gotta
out.
be more than 1 million, bro. A
I
million
would
ain't
hope
shit
so.
nowadays. I
That
think
is
if you say if he puts 100 million up for 100 men, right, and whoever can walk out of there,
Takes the 100 million.
then they split the 100 million. I bet you get 100 men.
And 100 dead men.
Yeah, right.
And that money gonna go right back to Mr. Beast as he
Yeah.
as he has great content to
Yes.
sell.
Yes.
That's where we headed though.
Yeah, that is where we had it. That is where we had it. Speaking of, what's the score of the game?
They just went to a commercial. I think they were down 10 at one point, but let me just double check.
Lake Show still down?
Yeah, and too much of a show. It's hard to play when you can't. Oh, they're down 5. They cut
No,
the
they're
5.
down. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right, we got 2 more stories, y'all. Thanks everybody for still tuning in. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. 2 more stories, then we'll shut it down for the night. But just talking about NBA, man. Playoffs getting physical. It's like basketball's kind of back almost.
Yeah, it is. But
like right, or
the refs, yeah.
Entire team played and made some plays. TJ was outstanding, I thought. Was able to get some. They still trying to clean it up. We got
Giannis was mad,
we got Matherman, and we got all kind of guys out here in the middle of this. Security's there.
Yeah, Giannis is a big motherfucker to be trying to hit back.
That's the gorilla right there.
Right.
That's the one. That's what you want to do.
Right.
The way he gripped the man back of his neck like that. Like, yo,
He said his hand. It was like it was cut. Right?
Come on, man. Don't
I would have
young
been like,
boy
get off my motherfucking head like that, dog. What the
That's
fuck
what
is
he
wrong with
did.
you?
But Giannis had a lot on his
He
chest.
like that. And who it was? It was like a bum. Like who was he?
I don't know. He must have been talking some shit.
And then you saw Halliburton's dad too.
Now, that was crazy.
That was just crazy.
But Halliburton dad was out of pocket. He's
Out of pocket.
You don't do that. And,
Yeah.
and it's and even so bad with how Tyrese had to apologize for him. And
Yeah.
but his dad was out of pocket. I thought the way Giannis expressed what happened after in the post game, I thought that was eloquently said.
Mhm.
I have a lot of respect for Giannis after seeing that and how he expressed what he was feeling.
I feel like he's starting to become like a little bit of a throwback a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you got to understand, he just lost. It probably was the last time wearing a Milwaukee Bucks uniform. He expressed how he felt that he couldn't get a win because of Dame Lillard just, destroyed his Achilles after coming back from the calf. Like, so there was a lot going on in his mind. And that's why you should never have fans coming across to the playing field because you don't know the emotion that just happened. Like, there's a big emotion that's going on within a game. Win, lose, tight game, win, lose, draw. Once either you're going to go up in exuberance because you won, and you're going to celebrate, or you're going to completely deflate, and you're going to start running these plays across your head what you could have did differently immediately. And to have fans run on the court and dads barking at you and like if you watch that clip of him, Giannis was just looking at him like, huh? Like what? And so him walking over there he had to have a serious head-to-head conversation with him. That was crazy. Giannis got the forehead to forehead, like, yo,
yeah.
you lucky you Tyrese's dad, because I would have fucked you
I know.
up.
I was about to say, yeah, you lucky for sure.
And he said, "I love you, I love you," and walked away.
Yeah,
Giannis is
he's real lucky for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, that was wild. But I mean, even what game was it? The Warriors game, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
can't
tough.
stand Draymond, yo. Draymond's dirty. He's such a dirty player.
Yeah, he does cross
I mean,
that line.
like just a little dumb shit. Like I remember when he got pickles, right? He got pickles, and then he grabs the ball. They both fall, and then he flows over, and then his leg comes and hit Bulls on the back of his head.
Yeah.
And he's gonna try and like get the fuck out of here, Draymond.
Yeah, Draymond knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, Draymond knows exactly what
he's a professional agitator.
Yeah, like exactly what he's doing.
That's why they love him.
I mean, that's his game. That's what he is.
Yeah, that's his game. He's gonna give you maybe 4 assists. He's gonna give you 6 points. He's gonna give you leadership and accountability on your team. And he's going to stand ground and be an agitator. And sometimes you need that. I mean,
he's a tough player.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah, he's a throwback for sure.
And he'll punch you in your mouth.
Yeah,
I've seen that happen too.
Yeah, but that's my problem. So he knows this generation is soft. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they ain't ready to rock like he.
I think Draymond's the Charles Oakley of this era.
Yeah, but Charles was worse. Probably
Charles was worse.
Yeah, Charles was worse
because Charles had grown men.
Charles would really fuck you up.
Right, grown men.
Yeah,
right.
Hey,
nah, I'm good.
Yeah, not tonight, Charles.
What was the one story of some player? He said something to Charles, or he said something about getting a foul, and he's at the free throw line. He was talking shit at the free throw line. And Charles said, "Shut the fuck up and shoot your free throws."
Yeah,
and the boy, shut up and shoot the free throws. Didn't say nothing the rest of the game. Shut the fuck up and shoot the free throws.
Yeah. Well, it's just some motherfuckers you don't fuck with.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? It's just some lines you don't cross. But
believe it or not, Indiana got one of those players. What's the boy name that's like that 3-time Taekwondo champion? I can't think of his name.
I don't know.
He's on that team. He's a true killer.
I'm really follow the Pacers too much. But I'm what else? Other game, and I know you've been loving the Knicks and the Detroit.
Yeah, because we said this series is gonna go, at least 6-7. And I thought that Detroit has shown a lot, you know what I'm saying, and they're just a tough team. But Kate Cunningham is showing off. This is his coming out party in the playoffs.
No, give boys due. Who we talking? Who?
No, we're not. Nah.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're not gonna.
Go ahead.
Nah.
Nah.
Can't do it.
You can't do it. Why not? What's wrong?
But that boy, I would not do it. But the other bull is good too. I can't think of his name right now. Bull? The one that has the twin.
The bull on Detroit, on the Pistons?
On the Pistons. The other bull.
What boy you talk? You guys use names, bro. I don't know what boy you talk about.
Listen, Don, you still on here? You know your team. Everybody but that the light skinned fella over there.
Oh, who? Toby? Nah. Harris?
But Detroit basketball looks to be back.
Look like Toby back.
And I said it too. New York Knicks is soft. You added Cat, and y'all got softer. Last year y'all was dogs. This year y'all added a cat, and now y'all a bunch of kittens. And that's what's happening. Good old Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah. Well, we'll see because they play tomorrow, so it should be a good.
They back in Detroit, right?
Are they back in Detroit? Yeah, because it's Game 5.
Stole one in New York again. Back in Detroit.
Yeah, back in Detroit, and then obviously, if they, if they take care of business, what I mean, anything can happen in Game 7. But
so then who they play? Who they play?
They would play the Celtics.
Yes, they would play the Celtics.
Yeah. I told you it's gonna be It's gonna be. I'm telling you, Cleveland, man. I've been trying to tell people Cleveland. Cleveland beat the dog shit out of. I forget who they played.
Sure did.
It was about.
And Cleveland plays
40.
Indiana, right?
Yeah, they're gonna play. It's gonna be Indiana and Cleveland. Cleveland gonna beat
that's
them
gonna be
too.
interesting. I wonder what that series gonna be.
The bullshit out of them too. All right,
It's
so
been good basketball. It's been some good basketball. Just
yeah, it has been good basketball. It definitely has been good basketball.
Early it was some blowouts, but now it's kind of tightening up a little bit. The refs, I don't like what they're doing, but they're allowing them to play. A lot of calls that are not being made. A lot of like, oh, I ain't see nothing. I don't like the way it's being officiated because you didn't officiate that way the whole year, right? Don't just get to the playoffs and change up, right? You got these guys playing one way for 80-something games, then you get to the playoffs and you just holding your whistle. So I guess they got to make their adjustment. They will, but
I agree. All right, we're gonna finish off with a gambling story, and I want you to let me know what you think about this gambling story, bro. I'm going to warn you. Some nasty shit out here, bro. Some nasty gambling, crazy story out here.
what we got?
I feel embarrassed to even show it, but I can't not because it's crazy. Ready?
I'm ready.
Downtown LA's night scene exploding Friday with an event billed as the world's first sperm race. 4 contestants came with the goal to win $10,000 in bragging rights for the strongest, fastest semen.
I want to build Olympics for sperm.
Eric Zhu is one of the sperm racing organizers. With the help of wealthy investors, the 17-year-old Bay Area high school student and entrepreneur launching this epic competition to raise awareness on male fertility health.
The general public doesn't talk about it because it's so taboo.
The contenders, who were handpicked out of dozens of young men, were given money each week to train their mind, bodies, and diets ahead of the viral, sold-out marathon. The competitors' sperm put into a microscopic racetrack. And then they're off. The sperm literally captured on this screen, swimming to the finish line. But perhaps this was the matchup of the night. Male students from USC and UCLA. In the end, the Trojan won. The Bruin got creamed.
That's actually funny though.
What you think?
I think it's weird, and I think people are weird. I don't know how they did that or what's happening here, but they had to train their mind, body to get their sperm right. Like what?
You're talking about they're on strict diets. You know what I mean?
But hey, anything for these kids to have fun. I guess it's better than pranking draft picks, right?
You know what? And I know it's the first time I actually listened. I saw it and I stopped it, and I was like, let me just listen to it live and let me see what Humble's response is to what we're about to watch. The one thing I didn't know about it, but it was about to bring awareness to male, I guess fertility or something to bring awareness to male. So it looks like there's a little bit of a good cause behind it. Yeah, man, they racing sperm out in LA now. You know what I mean? And people taking bets. You got to know people taking bets. There ain't no way people not taking bets. And how do you like think about it, like how do you? It's like yeah, he looked like a runner. How do you handicap that? You know what I mean? Like I don't even want to even think about that. That's funny as shit, man. But yeah,
get creamed, though, getting creamed at the end is kind of crazy.
Yeah. I'm cool on that. I don't know what we're doing there. I don't know what we're doing there. That's when the young people take it too fucking far.
Yeah, they like that stuff. different
oh man, yeah. We try to get one gambling story, every time we come on, man. So
Kentucky Derby coming up, right?
Yes, Derby is coming up. Yeah, I haven't bet the ponies in like a couple years. Trying to I did hit. I think I hit like 2 or 3 years ago. I think I did just a straight bet. I think I did a trifecta box, I think. Yeah, no, I didn't. I'm not even sure. The favorites won. No, didn't the last year the horse was on steroids? I thought what is it?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I haven't looked though. I'm gonna look at them and see what's going on.
I used to remember. It used to be great, man. You used to get the daily news, and it had the
Yeah.
big thing about the Derby, and you could read about every horse and all that shit.
Yeah. Now you got to go YouTube and find all this
Yeah,
stuff.
now you gotta go all the way back and all this.
And you said go. And you said go to the horse track to actually go ahead and put your tickets in.
Yeah, that's true. No,
Yeah,
I'm gonna use AI this year. I'm gonna see.
Hey, what AI talking about?
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's
see what
good.
AI talking about. And then we'll post about that. When is when is it this weekend?
Yeah, it's Saturday, right?
Is it Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna use AI to pick, and I'm gonna put a video up. So if y'all want to see what AI's got to think about the Kentucky Derby, make sure you guys hit that follow, hit that subscribe, hit that like wherever you are. Make sure you come support your boys. We are still doing that damn thing. If you like videos about gambling nights, come here on Wednesday nights. If you like betting, we will have recordings up once the football season goes on. I'm going to try to get in the WNBA and do some betting and teach myself WNBA betting. So if you want to listen to that and some WNBA betting, I'll do that weekly as well. Baseball season is ahead. I don't get more into baseball being a little bit more later on just because it's so early. So still things to bet, still things to talk about. And of course, I got my educational videos for those who want to learn how to become a gambler as a side hustle. So lots of stuff here at Money Pot Betting YouTube channel, and things are looking up and up for your boys. Got new shows talking about coming as well. We got Victory Monday Pot with me and Ernie B talking Eagles. So a lot of stuff going on here, man. Make sure you guys tune in to everything that we're doing here. So getting late, past bedtime. This is Moss Money. That's humble. This is Game on Nights. We will see you guys next week. Have a good night, everybody.